welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having us. We're so excited to be here.
First of all, please tell us about how you met.
Well, we actually knew each other growing up our whole lives. Buddy's family is his cousin, lived next door to him his whole life, and he happened to be my parents' best friends. So we used to see each other all the time when we went to visit. His family from Italy came, who also are friends with my parents, and they came over my house for dinner, well, my parents' house at the time, and they had asked me to go out with them that night, and I said okay, and I went, and that night that was the night that we got together.
Okay,
And
how
we
old
had-
were you at the time?
I was 19, no, I was, 19,
And I was 22.
22.
I was 22.
So you married very young, right?
Yep.
You were
21 when I got married.
21 when you married, and you were already
24.
24.
25.
24.
3 kids.
4 kids.
Four kids.
Four kids.
3 boys, 1 girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is crazy, because I never thought that I would have 3 boys. I
No,
thought I
because
was
Buddy
gonna have,
comes from a family of all girls.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have 4 sisters, and I'm the only boy.
She must be spoiled. Your
And I'm the
girl.
baby. And I'm the baby. I'm the, yeah, I am, definitely.
Sophia is spoiled, but she's my only girl. So,
Well, that was part of it too. You know, when we got together, I'm very old-fashioned. I was raised very old-fashioned. So my sisters took care of me. So, you know, when I was dating or I wanted to find someone, I wanted to find someone with the same values as I had. You know, I was spoiled. I never cleaned the kitchen. I never did any housely duties. I would, take out the garbage.
let it be known, my husband does not know how to turn the washing machine on, clean a dish.
I'm a funny story.
But whose fault is that, right?
No,
Well, it
women
started,
in his
yes,
life.
the
The
wo-
women,
it
the
started
women,
with the
you're right,
women when he
dude.
was growing up, and it ends with me because I still do it for him.
Right.
Let me ask you, you were talking about values and principles that you got from your family. What are the ones that you still hold on very dearly and you pass on to your children today?
every night we wanted to have dinner as a family, shut the TV off and be able to communicate. The way I remember when I was a kid, I'm like, Dad, I want to watch TV. Like, no, it's dinner time. The family sits down and we talk and we eat. And I think that, just coincidentally, I'm a baker and I love to cook, and Lisa's an amazing cook. But more than that, I think that food brings families together. Those meals or that family time is times you'll never forget.
It's a sacred moment that the
Yes.
family has to protect.
And also, it's also another value that a lot of women have lost.
Yes.
This value of staying at home with the family.
Yes,
I mean, it's okay to work. It's okay. Sometimes they don't have another choice.
100%.
But sometimes they have the choice. Like for you, Lisa, you had a choice and you had to choose between, okay, following a career and having my own money and my own life, my own trips, or taking care of my family, right? And you chose your family.
Of course.
What are the sacrifices that comes with that? I mean, you
Well,
make a lot of sacrifice.
I
for
see
that,
the
right?
good and bad in everything. Sacrifices, I don't get to see my husband as often as I would like to. I don't get up in the morning and get dressed up and pretty, and you
What do
feel.
you do? You're always beautiful.
If you see me at home, my morning consists of waking the kids up for school. My hair goes in a ponytail. I have sweatpants on and a t-shirt. I'm like, all right, let's go. Making the lunch, trying to get everybody to school on time. And then after they're in school, then, I'll think about myself. I'll go to the gym. I'll come home. I'll do some errands. I'll, clean up what has to get cleaned up. But if I wasn't a stay-at-home mom, then I would be completely different. I would be getting up early in the morning, getting myself ready, and going out to a career that, wherever the world takes me. But I would be talking to people, adults. I would feel like I was contributing somehow financially to the relationship.
And I hear that you also cook. I mean, you cook at home.
I do.
He's not the cook. He's the cook outside.
He
But-
does cook at home sometimes too, but I'm the main cook in the home, yes. He
And-
comes home to hot meal.
You must be pretty confident in your cooking skills to cook for.
I am.
She's an amazing cook.
I think I could put out some pretty good meals.
She is an amazing cook, and I think she likes to keep me a couple pounds overweight. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't want the women, looking at you.
And she knows that I can't resist. But I think it's a balance. I mean, there's days where I want to cook and I want to, just for my own mind or creativity. But most of the time, Lisa does the cooking, and she's a great cook.
What a favorite dish she makes that you really like?
I mean, her eggplant parmesan is the best in the world. The linguine with the roasted tomatoes and shrimp is awesome as well. But I'm not, look, I love everything that she makes. And more importantly, I think that she's a great mom.
Uh-huh.
And I know that I feel safe with her and my children passing the values on. Because again, just to take it to another level of, with the technology age and the way I feel the new generations are going, it's about self-gratification and not getting everything quick and not having to work for it. I also believe that it's important for your kids, for someone not like us, we have to balance how much we give them. Because you always want to give your kids more, right? You always you want to say, okay, I want to give a better life than my parents gave me. And with that being said, but you don't want to spoil them.
Right.
So there's that balance of spoiling to giving them everything you need. And I feel that a lot of what Lisa does with the kids is they go and do a lot of community services and they see different things so that, my kids don't understand, they understand that everybody doesn't have what we have or live the way we live.
Right.
But not only do I do that outside the home, also in the home, my kids have rules. They have to follow the rules, He makes fun of me sometimes because my boys, even though they're boys, my one rule is when you're done eating, you take your dish and put it in the sink.
Right.
He doesn't like that. But I say to him, in this house, I'm the boss,
Right.
and your bakery,
wives,
you're the
their
boss.
future wives. You're helping their future wives.
I don't. If I go in my kids' rooms and there's clothes on the floor, I don't pick them up. I let them come
Or
back.
the housekeeper,
Or
you know
yes,
what I'm saying?
they're not allowed. My kids have to put their dirty clothes in the laundry room. They don't have to wash them, but they have to put them where they belong.
Right. There have to be rules, in other words, otherwise kids grow up without any boundaries and they are not prepared for life.
Exactly.
And one thing I want to ask you, your oldest now is how old?
12.
12. They are about, she's about, and the younger ones eventually, to go out to the world and get out of your grasp, right? How do you prepare yourselves and your kids for facing life out there?
I tell my daughter almost every day, ask me whatever you want to ask me. I'll always tell you the truth. You might not like to hear it. You might be embarrassed. But this is life, and you're going to know the truth. And the more open I am with her, I haven't done that with the boys yet. They're a little younger.
I deal with the boys
Yes,
more.
he does more.
I mean, honestly, it's easier for
better
me
for
to
the
talk to the
father, yeah.
boys and her to talk to the girl. And I mean, look, I hate to sound chauvinistic or whatever, but for me, there's a different mindset for the boys than the girls.
Not for me.
I'm less concerned about my boys dating than my daughter dating. I mean, call me a dad, call me a little crazy, but it bothers me a little more. I think we're gonna make Sophia a nun.
No. No.
Lisa, it must be very stressful having a husband who's a celebrity, 4 children. How do you deal with that?
One day at a time. One day at a time. My husband being a celebrity is stressful in a way because I don't have him home as often as I'd like to, and I share him with millions of people. When we got married, it was just him and I. I didn't share him with anybody. Every night we would come home, talk. Now I share him with millions of people. We go out and I'm always on the back with the kids and he's taking pictures. So that's the stressful part of it. But again, there's always positive also. Him being a celebrity is his dream.
I'll be honest with you, I kind of disagree with you just in one aspect of it.
Okay.
I don't think that I've ever set out to be a celebrity. I'm being honest. I never did. What I always wanted to be was an important person. Was somebody who did great things, who later on in life people look back on what I did and say, man, that guy accomplished a lot.
Right.
That guy inspired lots of people. That guy set up his family and his children and his grandchildren. That guy changed the way people decorated cakes.
Does that take a toll on your relationship? Do you have like fights? Does any of you ever get a cake in the face?
Well, we don't. I have to be honest. We don't argue often.
We don't. Thank God.
And if we do, I'm not an arguer. I walk away.
Right.
My wife knows me enough.
Yeah.
I'll let you say it.
If you fight fire with fire, you don't get anywhere. He's the type of person that he's a more stronger personality, so he wants to be right. But if I fight him at that moment, we're not going to get anywhere. He's going to win, and we're not going to speak, and it's going to end. I walk away.
The thing is when she does that, I think to myself, I'm like, you know what, maybe I am wrong, or maybe, if I have a little time to reflect on what we're really fighting about.
Right.
And because we're in sync with a lot of things, like with the kids, it's not like I say they can do it and she says no. Like a lot of times they'll come to me. I mean, look, I'll enjoy being the good
Be
parent,
honest.
the fun
honest.
parent.
I say no, and they'll go to him, and he'll say yes.
Right.
Depends. No, but a lot of times I'll say, go ahead. Did you ask your mother?
No.
'Cause I know. Yeah, I do. I did. The other day in the toy store, they were like, can I get this? And they had this like big gun. With the Nerf bullets.
No, he didn't want to say no because he didn't want to be the mean parent. So he
Right.
said, go ask your mother.
Go ask your
and
mother.
I'm the one that said no.
Well, I know she's gonna pack it and take it home. It's up to her. It's not up to me.
It's nice because you can play good cop and bad cop as
Good
well.
cop. I'm usually the good cop.
I'm always the bad cop.
In our marriage, part of our problems was that I always ended the arguments with my wife saying to her, look, this is my way. This is me. You knew me this way. You're trying to change me. I was born like this. I'm going to die like this. Stop trying to change me. And I was an idiot, really, because I was ending my marriage for just this belief. I am like this, and I'm not going to change. And I'm here to prove to people that people can change if they just realize how bad their way is for something in their life, for some area of their life. I'm not saying that this is bad for your marriage, but I'm just saying sometimes we are set in our ways and we think, I'm never going to change. But it's possible to change if you see the problem and you say, okay, I've got to tone this down. I've got to balance this.
I try to be open-minded, but sometimes when I'm on fire, I can't cool down. I need to just, cool down, and then that's the thing. You know what I mean? You can't throw when I'm on fire and throw gas on a fire, because then it's going to be.
Buddy, you travel a lot. Lisa was saying it too. You're working a lot, and she's at home a lot of times. How do you, when you come home, do you do anything special to compensate? Okay, I've been out so long. I'm going to do this for you.
Well, sometimes yes and sometimes no. Because again, right now, and again, this is a bad time or a bad circumstance to look at, because this is the longest I've ever been away from home. When I could go home, I just want to be home. Like people say, oh, buddy, let's go out, the friends, like let's go here, whatever. For me, I want to sit on my couch because I haven't sat on my couch for 3 months. And I know that sometimes it seems unfair to her, but there's just days where I just want to be home. I just want to sit in my house. I just want to eat at my table. I want to lay in my bed. I want to use my backyard and stuff like that.
See, we get invited to different places. I mean, Buddy has 4 sisters, my mom's house, my sister's house, our friends' houses, but he doesn't want to leave his house.
Right.
So everyone always comes to my house. So I'm always doing
And
the
it's
cooking.
always a lot
I'm
for
always
her.
doing the cleaning.
But because I'm
There's
not
a
always
party
home.
at my house every week when he's home.
Yeah, because I'm not always home. But I always try to make special time for us. I always try to come up with gifts, and I know you can't listen. It's not even about money. It's not about buying things. It's about the thought. Whether it's a little gift or a big gift. And I think it's more about what you say and how you act.
One thing, buddy, to keep in mind is like this. This is something I learned for our marriage. You have to think of marriage as the human body. We need oxygen, right?
Sure.
You can even go in the water, you can hold your breath for a minute or whatever, but you need oxygen eventually. And your wife has an oxygen cycle. In other words, from time to time, she will need a break.
Yeah.
And maybe for you, this break is every 6 months.
Yeah.
And for her, maybe it's every Saturday night or something.
Yeah.
You need to be attentive to that, otherwise she could die in your arms of stress.
No, I know.
It's important to be attentive because I have a different oxygen cycle than my wife. I can go on working without thinking of a break.
Me and you
for
both.
days, for weeks. She can't.
Yeah.
And we have to think of that.
I didn't know
just a
you
thought.
saw it like that. But it's good to know.
good
He does have a different
It's
oxygen.
just very important. But then again, you once, for her 30th birthday, you made a life-size replica of Lisa as
I
a
did.
cake. Whose idea was that?
It was mine.
Your idea?
I would always tell her one day I'm gonna make a cake of you. I'm gonna make a cake of you, and that was the first one I ever did. I'll never forget that morning that I was getting ready for work because I couldn't measure her. Like, usually when you do a life size, you measure whatever. So I'm going like this. I'm touching her. I'm feeling her. I'm hugging her goodbye. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I just love you." I'm like, "You're working out." I'm trying to, because I had to carve her out a cake. So it was pretty funny. But you know what? No matter what, in all my success, my best and biggest accomplishment is my family. It's my wife and kids. And I'll be honest, I have an amazing relationship with my children. I feel like even though I'm busy, whatever, I am so close with them and so united with them. It's great. I feel like if anybody's relationship has suffered throughout this climb, has been me and my wife's. And but we both working hard to make it work
Yeah.
right. I think that we're smart enough to acknowledge when I'm wrong or when she's wrong, and we have to be able to seize the moment. I told my wife, I said, look, whether it's a day, whether it's 3 days, or whether it's a week, you have to seize the moment.
Right.
And no matter where it's going to be, whether we're in Brazil or Serbia or Paris or New Jersey, as long as we're together, that's all that matters.
Your family will always give you support for your success. Without that, you can have
Couldn't do it.
success and then it will all crumble
do it.
down. And to help you with that, we want to give you a gift.
Oh. Ah.
This is Bulletproof Marriage.
All right,
we wrote
cool.
this book.
I love it.
The idea is marriages are under attack today. You see divorce on the rise and so on, and we give you a part of our story there and tips that it worked for us and for a lot of couples that we help.
This is
We
awesome.
hope you enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
It's in English too, so it's perfect.
Yes.
No, I think it's going to be great, but I just want you guys to know and my wife to know that no matter what, you mean the world to me.
Of course I
And,
do.
and if I don't always tell you, I'm not the man I am today without you.
Thank you.
Oh, nice. One last question for you, buddy.
Please.
A lot of men watching this see you, of course, as an example, a reference for success. It's so important for a lot of men out there to feel that they are providing for their family and they feel a failure if they don't or if they can't. What's your success, having come from the beginning? You started at humble beginnings and you made such a success. Your work ethics, your advice for men specifically who want to succeed.
Absolutely. Well, I got to tell you, I started working when I was a kid. I was 11 years old. It's the values that my father instilled in me. He instilled in me the values of, look, you're a worker. You have to work. It's not worth complaining about it. You have to balance work and fun and everything else. And from learning that at a young age, when I actually started to get older and had to work, it seemed normal. It didn't seem like it wasn't normal. And I figured one thing out on my own. And after my dad died, I was 17 years old, and I had to drop out of high school to go take over the bakery. I had 30 employees, and they weren't ready for me to be the boss. I wasn't ready to be the boss. You know, I had to earn their respect. That's what my father taught me. I remember my first day at work, I went in and I said to Dad, what am I going to do? He brought me in the bathroom and he told me to clean the toilet bowl. And he did it for two reasons. He wanted me to know what it was like to be the guy to clean the toilet bowl. And he wanted to show the other workers that, look, just because he's my son, he's not too good to do it. Mm-hmm. And I think that he was setting me up to be a good boss today, to be able to have that mindset. So you have to be able to earn the respect of people. It just doesn't come because of who you are.
Right.
You have to be the first one in, the last one to leave. And those are the things my dad taught me. What I learned is that after about 6 months after my dad died, things were rocky. And we didn't know what the future of the bakery was. And I made a vow to myself, and I learned that I have an inner desire to never give up, no matter how big the challenge is, no matter what I have to do to make this work, I'm going to make it work. Mm-hmm. No matter if I have to work, 20 hours a day, whether 7 days a week, I am not going to fail. And I started to believe in myself, and I believed that when I do something, whether I'm going to film a show here in Brazil, whether I'm making a giant cake, whether I'm going to do whatever it is, I believe that I can do it. And I believe that there is no can't, there is no want.
Right.
I mean, what do you say all the time, honey? What don't I do?
Fail. Mm-hmm. He does not fail.
Mm-hmm. No matter what I have to do not to fail, I believe I'm not going to fail. And I feel like that energy becomes reactive. It becomes, where everybody infectious.
Right.
So when I think like that, my team thinks that we're not going to fail, and we create the most amazing things. Mm-hmm. So you have to believe in yourself. You have to do it through hard work and respect. And you do have to, if I didn't know that my wife was with the children and making sure that everything was at home and my mind was at ease at that point, I couldn't do what I do. Mm-hmm. So it's about balancing home, but knowing that you can do anything in this world.
Right. Thank you very much, Buddy
Thank you
Valastro
guys
and Lisa.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You got it.